Good morning. My name is Marco Antonio Paredes. I am a PhD candidate in engineering science. It is a pleasure to share with you the topic evaluating the failure behavior Ti64 scaffolds by coupling 3D images and numerical simulations. I would like to talk about introduction. These materials are implemented in abundant plants. The objective of this work is to develop a methodology that allows evaluating the compression behavior as a function of porosity through numerical simulation of the real microstructure. Experimental methods. First, initial powders of Ti64 and salt particles were weighted to obtain the porous compact with 10, 20, and 50 volume percentage in a large porous. Powder are poured into the plastic container and then mixed in dry conditions during 30 minutes in a turbula. Then powder mixtures were compacted at 400 megapascals and then sintered at 1260 degrees Celsius under argon atmosphere. Next, the CT conditions: 1600 radiographies and 120 kilovolts and 10 watts. The voxel resolution was 10 micrometers. Finally, compression tests. Interrupted tests were carried out. 3D images were processed by a visual software, and then the real surface is imported. In ANSYS software, numerical simulation and compression at room temperature are performed in ANSYS with a real microstructure of samples. Results: isolate pores are aligned in the perpendicular direction to the compression one. Concentric pores coalesce to form the fissures in the perpendicular direction to compaction. Mechanical strength is highly reduced by increasing the pore volume fraction. An internal volume is extracted to perform numerical simulation of compression tests. Behavior of compression is reproduced by the numerical simulation by reaching the yield strength at the same value than experimental tests. Numerical simulation suggests the deformation is larger near to the cluster of pores in the sample with isolated pores. Conclusions: Ti64 scaffolds were successfully fabricated, and then the compression behavior assessed by coupling computer tomography and numerical simulations. Numerical simulations in the 3D real microstructure were performed, and the deformation behavior was similar to the one found by 3D imaging analysis. Meanwhile, compression strength is reached by numerical simulations. The deformation values still low compared to the real ones measured in the whole sample. Computer tomography allows to follow the deformation of large pores, finding that isolated pores are deformed and small pores are closed. On the other hand, connected pores coalesce for the fissures leading to the failure of materials. In general way, the compression behavior can be reproduced by numerical simulation if the 3D real microstructure is used. Nevertheless, some issues still to be solved in order to obtain a more realistic values of deformation. Thanks a lot, Marco.